Oh, but okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. All I'm going to say is I am glad I am in the commentary booth. I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to say what.
I'm
I'm
muting
just going
everyone
to
again.
say that I'm having fun in the commentary booth. Right, okay, I'm muting everybody again.
Yeah, so am I.
Bye. Have a good one.
Mute like
Mwah.
there. Right, so we have some new drivers joining us for the second race. We have Jigglypuff, we have ESR Troll, we have BOR Leclerc joining us for the second race, which will be a full wet race around the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit.
Right. So yeah. Now I want to quickly mention that Jigglypuff is not actually Saudi Arabian. I want to clear the air right now.
No.
And I know he's not because when he signed the new LCR Forza Series Road to Le Mans, he signed up saying his nationality was North Korean. So I'm just going to go on a hunch and say that Jigglypuff is not half North Korean and half Saudi Arabian. Call it a hunch.
Yeah. We'll just...
And yet you have me saying that on stream. By the way, everybody's readied up, so let's ready up.
Yeah, I
didn't realise.
Yeah, so we're ready to go for this second race. So let's hope that I don't get chucked off this time.
Oh boy, I enjoyed this too much. Getting a light show right now. Alright, off we go. So yeah, it's time for Belgium. This round race. This the McLaren 1990, the championship winning car from Mika, which was also the year I was born. The special attachment to this car. We're here. It is a bit of creation of the crazy 1998 Belgium race. Saw a Jordan tree. It was heavy downpour, and true enough, downpour right the way through right now.
Yeah, that was a beautiful race. There was some chaos. It was chaos, but it was a beautiful race. Oh dear, Verstappen has started Fortnite. That's not good. If you can get back in, there you go. Oh, Charlie, what a kind fellow.
For those of you who are watching the stream or the YouTube video, Charlie just sent the party an invite, and we've got it. So
yeah.
Thank you, Charlie.
So as we predicted, it is absolutely chucking it down, which is actually the complete opposite conditions to what is outside today. Britain is basking in some beautiful bank holiday weather, but we're inside.
It's like 20 degrees outside.
Some absolutely scorching racing, as the first race did not disappoint, with some brilliant battles up and down the field, especially that penultimate lap battle between Drizzt and Dark Magic. That was absolutely brilliant. Right, here we go.
Brad just put in the chat, glad I could give you guys a show, and boy did you. That was a great battle.
You certainly did. You also gave Apex forced Apex to lose his voice. Right, Dennis VKK is top. I'm going to stay on board with him rather than try and change because it just gets too complicated. This car is just a beautiful car. I remember when Mika Hakkinen and it was David Coulthard were driving this car.
It's glitched for me. Some drivers are in the garage, so I can't actually watch Dennis VKK because if I go to him, his car's in the garage for some reason.
Oh right, well, Brock Does Stuff is currently leading. Oh, as Dennis VKK has taken the optional wide route up a Rouge, shall we say. He's down in 7th. Brock is still winning, leading. Dark Magic as well. Oh, Dark Magic is dropping. He was up in 3rd. Neo Charlie has gone up. I do not envy these guys one bit trying to control this car in these conditions around this track.
So I'm not sure how many of you guys like. I'm not being like, oh, I don't know who's played this game, but 1998 McLarens a bit tetchy. They kind of oversteer boxes, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you take it to a track that is downforce heavy, but also has massive straights, which means that it's difficult to find a right balance of setup that carries you right the way around the circuit, and it kind of leads to really tricky conditions, even in the dry. And then you put it in full wet conditions, and you can kind of tell why the real-world race was so chaotic. We've got people already retiring from qualifying, put it that way.
Well, we had AO Charlie, who was leading. Crash out. But we have TOR Leopard currently topping the sheets. Brock behind, Trolled, Leclerc, Dennis VK. Dennis VKK and Dark Magic Gundam are swapping places very regularly, so they must be really close. I'm on board with Dark Magic here. I actually moved down to him. Give the American driver some airtime, and he's actually got past. They've swapped positions again. But interesting to see your race winner from last race, John, is currently down in 7th. Not having the greatest time of it. As Dark Magic comes up to the bus stop.
The only people who aren't in the garage for me are like Leopard, Trolled, and Leclerc. Leopard crosses over the line. 2-minute point. What was that? 2:09.466, and this is qualifying. So I want to buckle up for a race because we're going to have a bit of a long one. That's qualifying.
Yeah. Will they need to pit? Question, I don't know. Will they need to pit, or will these tyres last? How many laps is it? 11 or 12?
Okay, right. That gap between TOR Leopard and Brock Does Stuff is filth.
Wow.
0.062 on a 2-minute lap. Jesus.
That's unbelievable.
Right, okay,
and in full wet conditions.
And in full wet. Jeez. Fair enough, guys. Bottleneck side by side right the way through. I think you've gained some and lost some, but you guys have a 6/10 gap against Jigglypuff, and then everybody else is 2 seconds behind. It goes Leopard, Brock Does Stuff, Jigglypuff, John, Trolled, Leclerc, Dark Magic Gundam, Dennis VKK, and a whole bunch of DNFs. Because I ran out of time.
Right, here we go. Round 2 of Legacy Classic, 6th of May 2018. We have a wild TOR Leopard on pole.
TOR Leopard on pole in LCR?
That's it.
You must be lying.
Yeah.
That never happens.
That never happens.
That guy should join the league. He'd be really good at carrying someone to the championship.
The only way he gets pole is by cheating. Just like to add that. All I'm going to say is justice for Brock. Justice for Brock.
Hashtag justice for Brock. Get it trending.
Right, here we go. As the drivers are readying up.
Once again, we got a formation lap, so everybody gets a chance to get familiar with the. Let's put it that way. If they weren't already.
Yep, as we have 13 black and grey McLarens. As is that?
That is.
Yeah, there's people.
The grass.
There's someone on the grass. That was nice. I think it was
So
Jigglypuff.
it'd be interesting to see how everybody launches their car, because again, this is a very feisty car in wet conditions with basically setups that are kind of cobbled together and not much practice behind them. So we've got 11 laps and Troll's bottled at the top of her roof. We've got 11 laps. I'm not sure if we're going to see all 11. I'm not sure how many drivers are going to see all 11. In fact, actually, right, okay. We've got 13 drivers.
Yes.
We've got 11 laps. How many drivers are going to finish the race? Give me a number.
4.
I'm gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna give these guys a benefit of doubt. I'm gonna say 6.
I thought you were gonna say like 11 then, but or something like that. Yeah, there's bound.
I think they're a little bit better, but not that better.
Stuck on anti-stall.
Stuck on anti-stall. You're on the line. Just you wanna.
You'll be alright when it's.
When did you join the party? How many people are in? Hey, muted. Let's just mute you real quick. I didn't even see you join the party.
He probably has a mic issue, so it's alright. Oh, who's that? That was Brock.
Oh, there you go.
Brock, that was a sexy drift. Rampoo on.
We keep talking to them because we know they can hear us, but it doesn't really make for a good stream.
It was a sexy drift though. It was a sexy drift.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. You have been excused. Who's the furthest back? Because I don't think anybody's actually taking all that long. Troll is pretty far back.
Oh, is he?
Troll's just coming to the end of sector 2.
Okay.
So again, 13 drivers. I guess at the end of the day, we're probably better off having a smaller grid for this race because it's going to be chaos. I want to be proven wrong. I want more than 6 people to finish. Higher than a 50% attrition rate. Well, actually, something to note. I know he retired from it, but Exploding Emerald, who was right up there last time, I think he qualified second. Yeah, he did qualify second. Now Exploding Emerald's starting second from last. which actually, if he's starting on the back row, that could benefit him because it means he could just drop back and watch the assumed carnage unfold. I hope there's no carnage. Have fun, lads. Have fun concentrating while we're yelling in your ears as well. Good.
Yeah, right, here we go. We're just waiting for the final car to line up on the grid. And then we will be away for 11 enthralling laps of Spa-Francorchamps circuit in the wet. Right, here we go. I'm still on board. 4 lights, 5 lights. And Albon's got a jump start.
Albon's jumped the start. There goes Albon.
And away they go. They were held for ages. Leopard was literally sideways. Brock, oh my god, they're struggling.
Can't see anything going into turn 1.
There's
a bit of an
spray everywhere.
A lot of the drivers.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my god, I don't want to be John right now. He's got so much spray heading down into Eau Rouge. What's going to happen as they head up the hill? You can see who's going to lift off the throttle. Jigglypuff has to cut up the top of the hill, but he does manage to stick it. There's already the first retiree, F1 Ben, I believe, up Eau Rouge.
That was pretty clean,
though. Back of Exploding Emerald. There's a lot of drivers all over the place right now. TOR Leopard's dropped a few positions. Expert Almond's, well, I mean, he's still leading, but TOR Leopard and Brock does stuff battling for the assumed lead of the race. John is all over the back. Can he get switched back off onto Jigglypuff? Yes, he can. Going out of Lake Park.
Side by side.
Yeah, Troll also getting past Dennis VKK, and yep, as you said, Jigglypuff and John still going side by side. Expert Almond's dropped back. That's not going to help him considering he's already got a driver he's got to serve. Jigglypuff is still ahead. Well, no, Jigglypuff is behind John, but he's now got Troll for company. As TOR Verstappen is kind of trying to make a push between Almond and Dennis, with Exploding Emerald trying up the inside of Dark Magic Gundam, with Charlie kind of muscling his way through at the same time as well.
Yeah, not going to lie, we have a levitating Expert Emerald behind here. He's behind Dark Magic Gundam. He's all over the place. It's hard to tell where he is.
Dark Magic Gundam is really wide, and that compromises his position. Exploding Emerald manages to absolutely do Dark Magic Gundam and ESR Troll. Yellow flag in sector 2. Expert Almond drifts right the way through sector 2, so he's already kind of bottled this ever so slightly. AOR Charlie is currently heading Exploding Emerald, who had a better run out of the corner, but he's actually lost a wheel.
John has got past Brock. Oh, that was close.
Oh, save it. So Brock manages to save it.
Yeah, as he's going to get absolutely swallowed up.
But now he's got a bit of a static car. TOR Verstappen had to go around the outside of Brock. That was audacious. Oh my days.
That was scary. That was scary.
Dennis
VKK. The guys there, Brock was going so slowly, and the spray, they could not see a thing.
Charlie's rolled through. Exploding Emerald's left the session. We had 3 drivers down. Exploding Emerald, Expert Almond, and F1 Ben 23 are all retired. But we've got a gaggle of cars going on right now. TOR just got moved on Dennis VKK, who's also being chased by Charlie. Brock's dust stuff is a little bit set back as well as they go through Eau Rouge, nose to tail. Jigglypuff is also giving chase to John. A bit of a creative interpretation of the track limits there from the chasing cars. TOR Verstappen kind of gets the worst out of it though, as he's forced to remain behind Dennis VKK.
Charlie has
the best run going up to the corners though. Can he break later? Yes, he can. Then side by side, but TOR Verstappen takes advantage of the inside line going through the middle of Lake Com. Charlie tries to keep it on the inside, but he is unable to due to the undulating track. Brock Dustuff, who qualified so well, is having to try and get a move done on Charlie, which he does. The yellow flag in sector 1, that's BOL Leclerc retiring at the top of Eau Rouge. Same place that F1 Ben muddying the waters. Hez Diablo. He's got a little bit late, mate, but hello. Dennis VKK is still holding back TOR Verstappen. Brock Dustuff kind of lost it a little bit on No Name, which has allowed Charlie to come right back through. There's 9 drivers remaining. We've already lost.
Oh, Brock is drifting through Puon. Oh, Brock, hold it, Brock. Oh, he's managed to hold it.
The clutch. Dennis VKK has gone wide on the exit of Puon, which allowed TOR Verstappen to come back through, and AOR Charlie's trying to follow through as well. And the right-left hand corner, he does manage to get it done. Charlie's through. Dennis VKK has lost a couple of positions. Will he lose another position to Brock Dustuff as they go through the right-hand to finish off sector 2? Yes, he will. He also loses to Troll, who manages to sneak through as well. Dennis VKK has lost 4 positions in a space of 4 corners, to be honest. Well, not even 4 corners, 3 corners. So that's a shame for Dennis VKK. Can he bounce back? TOR Verstappen's climbed 9 positions. He's climbed so many positions off the side of the race. But now Charlie is trying to give chase with Brock Dustuff being a lot more cautious through Blossom on this lap. Don't blame me, mate. as Dark Magic Gundam is now also gaining onto the back of Dennis VKK. He doesn't have front wing damage or anything. They're kind of all over the place going through the bus stop chicane, but they keep
penalty,
it.
Sorry. For exceeding.
No more. Dennis VKK's around the outside of ESR Troll. Dennis VKK does get the move done, but he bends Troll out of shape. As Dark Magic Gundam has to essentially predict where his fellow pro driver ESR Troll is going. And Dark Magic Gundam does get the move done. It goes very wide through the corner though, which allows Troll to take a tighter lock exit, which gives him a better straight line speed. Jigglypuff is out of the race, bowling at the top of Eau Rouge. Hopefully it doesn't give anybody cold feet going through the top of it. Everybody is just fine. Dark Magic Gundam's created a gap.
Oh, Jigglypuff
ESR
has
Troll.
lost it. Sorry. Jigglypuff is gone. We're down to 8. Sorry. A bit behind it. Oh, and that is Brock does stuff. That's going to be a 10-second penalty. Oh no, it's only 3.
3 seconds!
What?
You lucky
straight
little boy.
line. Brock is struggling
Yeah,
here.
absolutely straight on like in 3 seconds. Might as well do that every lap.
Oh, Brock is loving a drift right now. Brock, these are some absolutely sexy drifts. I'm on board with Brock right now. As you go, I'm going to stay on board with Brock just to go through Puan. As
actually, you might want to go back on board with ESR Troll, who's on the back of Dark Magic Gundam, who's kind of struggling in the slower corners in the conditions as they come through Puhan. ESR Troll gets too much dirty air going through there, and he's kind of bent out of shape. He's on the curb way too much. He's going to have to try and recover his car. This is a very difficult corner to try and do that in. He's still kind of drifting. He's kind of he's almost aquaplaning, to be honest. But he manages to keep the car going. He does ball it, but he loses front wing damage. He doesn't lose the tyre yet.
Oh.
Didn't speak too soon, but he is essentially out of the running. But it is a question on whether or not he can survive. I want to real quickly mention that Leopard did not manage to create a gap to John, as John had managed to create a gap to the cars behind him in the previous race. So while there's no battle, strictly no battle going on right now, come a game of survival. We're only 3 laps down.
So we have 8 drivers remaining. So we've had nearly half the, well, not quite half the field. John takes the fastest lap there. He is on a mission to catch up with Leopard. Yes, but what I will say, TOR Verstappen, what a drive from the Dutch driver. He has moved up 10 positions after starting P13, and actually didn't even qualify because he started playing another game. So what a drive from the Dutch driver, unbelievable. But
Brock Does Stuff is doing a bit of, I think he lost the car a little bit on the exit of turn 1, has allowed Dennis VKK to come through. If Brock Does Stuff managed to get up to speed fast enough, he might be able to retaliate, but Dennis VKK is going full speed right into Eau Rouge. ESR Troll has retired from the session. He actually bottled it going on the way into the pits, which is a massive shame. I don't think that was intentional. So that's frustrating, but we're now down to 7 drivers, looking like our predictions are unfortunately becoming a little bit more true as the race presses on. But Brock Does Stuff is having to try to cut the gap back down to Dennis VKK, and also maybe looking at his rear mirror, see if maybe try not to bottle it again. AOR Charlie has also tried catching up onto the back of TOR Verstappen.
yeah, they're going to have an exit battle as they come through the no name. Charlie runs a little bit wide, but they see Puan is such in this weather. If you get Puan wrong, that is game over. So they both held it very well through there. Verstappen runs a little bit wide.
Brock is on all over the back of Dennis VKK as they go through Puhan. 3/10 is all it is between the pair of them. Dennis VKK seems to really be struggling with the conditions, whereas Brock feels right at home. Is he going to try and move up the inside? Dennis VKK goes defensive and he fades back onto the racing line, which compromises Brock, but not so much that it reduces his straight line speed. Brock is still within the same gap that he was previously, as he's trying to just try and find a bit of foothold, try and get back up on the inside of Dennis VKK, who does run a little bit wide through that right-hander, which I believe is called Stavolo. I'm kind of failing with the corner names in this race. Sorry, that's Kurt Paul Frere that they just exited. Does Brock Does Stuff have the stuff to get the move done on Dennis VKK? Is he going to be a hero through Blochemont? No, he's not. He's going to keep on the back foot, but he's probably going to try.
Racing.
He breaks. That was absolutely clever. Brock broke through Blochemont to give him the much better racing line as Dennis VKK ran wide and allowed Brock to just absolutely destroy him going down into the bus stop. That wasn't the prettiest of moves, but that was the smartest of moves. I really rate that, Brock. That was excellent. I like that. I like that a lot. Good job.
Brilliant.
I rate that move. That was really clever
from the Australian driver there. Taking after his Australian coverage, Daniel Ricciardo. He very clever with that move. But so
licking stamps since 1990 hey, if we, I don't know, whatever. Brooks and stuff is having to head Dennis VKK as they go up Eau Rouge. Dennis VKK gets a bite of Overseer, tries correcting it, but unfortunately cuts the corner as a result. I imagine that will give him a penalty, but unfortunately that will also compromise trying to catch up to Brock. What's worth noting right now, though, is that John actually did get fastest lap last lap. But it looks like he's kind of maintaining the gap to the pair of those two are actually maintaining the gap to one another. So I don't think it's shrinking. I don't think it's growing. I think they're just kind of staying around the second and a half.
In fact, it's just dropped by 5 tenths, 6 tenths. As Leopard had a moment up, as John has really caught. John is now within a second of Leopard here. Leopard's
gone really wide.
He is struggling. Stay on board with John here. See if he can get the move done. We're just coming about half distance. As John, just to note, this is wow, very differing fuel strategies between John and Leopard. Let's just put it that way.
It's worth noting that John underfueled his car by like what, 2 laps. So he's got a seriously underfueled car, which is something you can really do in the. I remember checking at the start. He underfueled his car by a couple laps. It's worth doing that in the wet conditions because usually, even if you run standard, you're basically driving as if there's an egg under your pedal, and doing that helps save fuel naturally. So John decided to underfuel his car, which is a stark contrast to Leopard, who's actually overfueled his car, and you can kind of see its benefit. I'm not going to lie, because John's just set another fastest lap, despite the fact that he's on lean and following Leopard. We could be getting a battle for the lead here.
Yep, as Leopard has a little bit of a moment coming out of the first corner, then as they go up to Puon here, John is the closest he has ever been as they go up Puon.
You just called Eau Rouge Puon twice.
Sorry, my bad.
Puon is the best corner on the calendar.
It's been a long day.
Don't at me.
It's been a long day. The sun has gone to my head. Let's put it that way.
The sun is too much. TOR Verstappen. I did see that. TOR Verstappen had a bit of a compromised line going at the top of Eau Rouge, and he nearly hit the wall, but he's unfortunately going to hit 4th place as AOR Charlie runs past him. Had a much better line. Unfortunately for Charlie, I'm actually going to say, TOR Verstappen was actually running quite well and was creating a gap, which means that even though Charlie's ahead right now, we could have a battle back on our hands between the pair of them. But TOR Verstappen kind of got a little bit bent out of shape at the top of Eau Rouge and barely avoided hitting the wall. So, fair play.
What I will say, after John was a little bit more cautious than Leopard was up Eau Rouge, Leopard built the gap, but it's coming down again. I feel like John is a lot stronger in this second sector than Leopard is. Ooh, as I say that, he has a little bit of oversteer. They come through the end of the second sector.
The second sector is where John's underfueled car gives him an advantage, because it means that he can stick it in lean, start saving fuel back up, and because his car is still light, it means it helps him turn into the corners. Whereas Leopard, with the extra laps of fuel, if you try sticking it in lean to get the extra turn in, that's just going to help build his fuel back up. So John was actually really smart in underfueling his car, because it allows him to get better lines. But unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that Leopard is still leading, and John can brake so much later going into this bus stop chicane. And the gap is so close once again. But to be honest, I think Leopard kind of had a better run out of him in that lap. And to be fair, Leopard has actually upped the ante. He set a fastest lap for however long it was before John set the fastest lap again. I thought the gap was actually a little bit bigger that lap. It was for a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Leopard has definitely turned up the ante a little bit. I think he might just stick it in Rich for a little bit.
So Leopard just had a bit of lag there on my screen as they go up Eau Rouge again. Oh,
John
Leopard's
having to
run
cut
wide.
the top of Eau Rouge.
Leopard's got a penalty
Leopard's
for that.
run wide as well. I'm surprised John didn't get a penalty. He did just cut the top of Eau Rouge. John doesn't even have a warning, which is unfortunately worth mentioning. Leopard got 2 warnings just then.
It didn't compromise. Thankfully, that didn't compromise Leopard. He's still got an 8/10 gap to John here, but this is going to be an exciting last 5 laps. Or 4 laps or so, sorry. So they're still within a second. It's the only real battle going on. These two have got a 16-second buffer to AOR Charlie, who is currently holding the final podium position.
AOR Charlie has done a really good job upping the ante against TOR Verstappen. I did say Verstappen would have a good chance getting it back, but to be honest, I only just noticed that Charlie is also underfueled his car, and is basically having the same advantage that John is right now. Verstappen has a bunch of fuel in his car, which means he's got to keep it enriched, but that might compromise his turn in the second sector. Whereas Charlie, who's probably bottling it a little bit because we're talking about him, hello Charlie, he's got an underfuel car which is allowing him to stay in lean through the middle sector and probably just gain time from his lighter car. So he's doing the same thing that John is, and that's allows him to build a gap.
Yeah. What I will say is that these boys they're going to have to really start fuel saving, because I know they're staying in lean, but as John has put it up into rich, they have underfueled, so they're going to have to do some serious fuel saving towards the end of this race. As Leopard and John go through Blanchimont for the 7th time, with Leopard now holding just under a second lead to John. I feel like
every time I mention about this battle, I feel like the opposite happens, because TOR Verstappen is now started up in the ante against AOR Charlie. Leopard sets the fastest lap, but TOR Verstappen is gaining back on Charlie. There's only a 6/10 gap between them. Verstappen seemed a lot more confident through Bloschmann as well. That gap is closed right back up. He's almost pushing him through bus stop. Jeez, that's a bit of a lightning lap from TOR Verstappen there. And Charlie
has
also
a moment.
runs a little bit wide. I think he got on the acceleration a little bit too quickly, and that allows Verstappen to start launching an offensive going into La Source. Is he going to try to do a switchback? Charlie does go a bit tighter on the way in. It means he can go wider on the exit. That might compromise his straight line speed for the time being, unless Verstappen feels like going too wide in the 98 McLaren in the wet up at Rouge. That should protect Charlie for the time being, but it depends on how cleanly the pair of them goes at the top of Eau Rouge. The
Very
pair of them
cleanly.
cut the corner at the top. Naughty, naughty.
But other than
well,
that,
I mean,
pretty clean to say. It's full wet conditions here.
yeah.
Brock.
I mean, well, they followed each other, so like it's not like somebody gave an advantage, to be honest. The gap is remaining, but that's probably the closest battle we have right now, as Leopard has seriously up the ante against John, because he's pulled out over a second in the past couple of sectors. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Dennis VKK is unfortunately, once again, Eau Rouge is the killer in this track. He's unfortunately bottled at the top. And how many drivers are remaining, Smith? Can you remind me?
That would be 6.
Oh.
It's alright. There's still time
That's
for
a good
2
number
more
there.
people to bottle it. Boys in party day, bottle it.
Bottle it.
Right, anyway, sorry, but John has really caught back up to Leopard here through the second sector. Like we've talked about before, this underfueling the car is really helping him there. He caught up about a second. Oh, as John, John manages to just about hold that. He had a massive moment there. He managed to hold it as they come through Blanchimont. Again, it's less than a second between these guys. And AO Charlie has managed to pull a gap again to Verstappen. It's interesting how both these battles are going back and forth, back and forth. Really interesting. As we can head on to lap 9.
It sometimes shows that usually when people think of battles in racing, it doesn't always necessarily mean side by side. Sometimes it is about managing the gap, and sometimes it's trying to dupe out the other car. Because Leopard and John and Charlie and Verstappen are both. I don't think they'll probably disagree with me. They'll probably intently listen to what I'm saying, but they'll probably disagree with me. I don't think any of those 4 drivers are like just chilling out and driving. They're pushing. They're trying to either create a gap, close a gap. They're trying to make the trying to make the race work in their favour. Whether they're leading or chasing, whether they're creating a gap or whether they're closing a gap, they're trying to find the advantage in every possible opportunity. That's basically what like endurance racing and things like that do. It's kind of rare you get to see that in F1 League racing, but this is essentially what's happening right now, because the gaps keep growing and decreasing. Leopard actually went wide a little bit through Brussels. Rivage, I don't know, that corner has like 2 names. But that allowed John to catch up a little bit, but then John went a little bit wide through no name, so that means the gaps change. A lot of people can find it boring that they're kind of managing gaps, but these drivers are on the limit, and they are trying to either maximize their pace
wide,
or ruin everybody else's pace. There you go, and that doesn't help either.
No. So Leopard now has increased the gap to 1.4 seconds, sorry. And so starting to struggle. The tyres might the tyres be starting to go a little bit? I don't know. I'm not sure. But John is definitely struggling a little bit more than he was, say, a lap or so ago.
Charlie's back into the positive of fuels, which is worth noting because John still isn't. John is still having to look at his fuel a little bit and maybe try to conserve it a little bit. We're on that lap 9 of 11. TOR TOR Verstappen is once again gaining back a little bit on Charlie. Again, a little bit back and forth. Verstappen's found time where Charlie has not.
Within a second
Charlie
now, that battle.
Once again
So
push.
As Leopard sets the fastest lap with a 2:08.
As Leopard shows off. What? Now this is where the underfueling is going to come back and bite Charlie a little bit, because now he's going to have to spend the next couple laps saving, whereas Verstappen has the fuel in reserve, which means that he can use that to his advantage.
Verstappen, that was brilliant in the bus stop. How close he got to Charlie there. Again, he gets another. Verstappen had a brilliant drive there. He got so close into braking through the bus stop as he come through.
Charlie decides to go in the middle of the track, go a little bit defensive. Charlie sees the threat and is responding appropriately. It worked last time, to be honest. Last time that happened, Charlie managed to force Verstappen to drop way back. As Verstappen, I don't think he's dropped way back, they're still within 6/10 of one another. Go at the top of Eau Rouge. Charlie, the pair of them, once again kind of follow each other. Verstappen got a little bit too friendly with the curb though and almost oversteered straight into the wall. But the fact of the matter is, Charlie in Verstappen is actually gaining a little bit down this to attempt a dive bomb. But it does mean that Charlie is having to start checking his rear view mirrors a little bit, because Verstappen is right there.
Yeah, he is all over the back of him here. So he's going to have to be careful as they come onto... They're both on the penultimate lap here. The lap 10 of 11. What I will say is, to all the drivers that do finish this race, credit where credit is due. These conditions with this car around this track, as Verstappen is all over the back as he's coming through P1 here. This is brilliant from both drivers. Verstappen gets on the curb.
Got a lot of curb there.
Nearly that could have come off a lot worse for Verstappen. Doesn't quite compromise him as much as you would have thought.
Verstappen has a much better line through that corner though. I should mention Verstappen had a much better line through that corner. He took a bite out of the curb like it was Belgian chocolate, but now Charlie kind of struggled in the right left corners. Verstappen is kind of pushing him. He's kind of putting the pressure on now. Can he make it stick? Going through curb Paul Ferrari.
Oh,
Verstappen had a much better drive
grass.
through the corner until he got too much of the curb, and that allows Charlie to escape. Oh, the dirty air probably making a big difference there, and that's allowed Charlie to run away. Maybe for the end of the race. We entered onto the final lap now. TOR Leopard with a 1.4 second gap, once again setting the fastest lap on John. To be honest, we keep talking about tyre wear, but I think the tyre wear is kind of alright if Leopard's constantly sending fastest laps.
Yeah, John has now finally got into positive fuel and he fully cut Eau Rouge there. What I will say is, I keep getting the names wrong. It's the sun. I did love the Belgian chocolate reference there. That was beautiful.
Real quick, you realise that John is actually leading this race, right?
Oh, I forgot about that because Leopard has his penalty, doesn't he? So that's why Leopard might be pushing. So we could have a double winner here of LCR Classics. Is this part 3 of LCR Classics? This is the third time.
I forgot. I think it's the 4th. I'm not gonna lie. I think I forgot.
But part 3 or
no,
4. I don't think we've had a double winner before. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Let me introduce you to this. Okay, right. I know this 13-year-old kid. Right, he's German, and he's really good at Formula 1. He won the championship in a league called LCR, as Brock actually balls on the exit of Les Combes while I'm trying to be a smart ass, interrupting me. That man Gundam is far down the road, so that's not going to affect Brock too much. As John has actually caught up to Leopard right now. What I'm trying to say is that Leopard's done the double in the classes before. I'm being an ass about it though. I think he has done the double. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So we have 6 people watching this final lap. Oh, brilliant helicopter shots. Oh, John nearly lost it on the curb there as he comes up to the bus stop.
Is he going to try and move into the bus stop? He brakes a lot later.
Leopard goes defensive there.
Brock no, sorry, not Brock. John is going for a much more aggressive line through there. Can he get the move done?
Oh,
no,
John!
He can't. He actually hits the wall on the exit. Reverse over the line. No, he's going to turn all the way around. I think Leopard's run away with it. I think Leopard's won the race.
Oh, got to feel for John there.
Hold your breath. Yes, he has. TOR Leopard wins. Oh, my days.
Sorry, AWOL Charlie. Verstappen goes through
down Charlie.
Oh, my Lord, Charlie cuts the bus stop. And that's a 10-second penalty.
Yes, he does.
Whoa.
Oh,
what a move by Verstappen. As Charlie spins across the line.
Does he spin across the line? Where's the line?
No,
There
he's
it
not.
is.
He's gonna reverse. He's trying to. Is he gonna reverse? No,
There you go.
he's actually doing.
He got it. He got it. He got it. He got the line.
He's got it, but
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
now
Hi,
we got
Verstappen,
Brock.
where did you come from?
that was brilliant driving.
Days.
As the award for best drifts of the day definitely goes to Brock Does Stuff as he misses his braking point totally for the bus stop.
Is he going to do a drift for the final corner? He's making it happen. Engage the clutch.
Yes!
Yes!
Donuts, Brock. Give us some donuts.
Right, Brock, just keep doing donuts, right? Just keep doing donuts. Keep doing donuts. Just keep doing donuts. Brock, keep doing... Brock, no! Brock, no! Brock, no! Brock! Brock, no!
Yes! Oh, he's lost
Okay,
it
here
to the
comes-
wall! Dark Magic Gundam!
Here comes Dark Magic Gundam. Wee.
Oh,
I was trying to
they
keep Brock
got-
doing donuts so that Dark Magic Gundam...
They touched across the line! And
Dark Magic
actually-
Gundam got the position!
Yeah, they actually collided across the line, and Brock lost 6th position. Lost 5th position. Dark Magic Gundam. Wow.
So how many people finished the race, Smith? How many people
6.
finished the race?
Oh, yeah.
6 people finished the race. It's a non-British podium. I need to point that out because that's not happened in ages in LCR. It's the German from the Greek from the Dutchman. TOR Leopard wins in Belgium, basically in the final corner, and TOR Verstappen, sprayed with champagne, also gets on the podium from the final corner. To be honest, even though Charlie did get that 10-second time penalty, the fact of the matter is that Verstappen did it on track. He got the move done. That was I like that literally came out of nowhere. I literally didn't see that coming. That was phenomenal.
Yeah,
That was
brilliant.
an amazing final lap, to be honest.
Yeah, brilliant from both. Some really good battles right to the end. So, the German Wonder Kid, he wins the race.
That's fantastic. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed all of that. That was great. Fantastic
That was
racing
excellent.
from everybody involved. Both
Charlie,
races.
you got your 10-second penalty when you cut the final turn. When you when you're having your little battle with Verstappen. But brilliant racing, boys. I've now unmuted everybody in the party, so
Oh, I might as well do that.
yeah,
I guess.
so they can all hear me.
Right, feel free to include your audio, lads, by the way.
Yeah, Brock. What I will say is you win Best Drift Award for sure.
Oh, thank you.
There was some sexy
Yeah, my
drifts.
tires are like, my rears are like 30%
Yes,
more
you
than
wish.
3 laps
Yeah,
in.
include it if you want, yeah. Do it. Include your audio, boys.
Oh, for God's sake.
Not that we're going to do interviews or anything, it's just you've been here for
Winner!
I think you...
Won a race.
Well, did you realise that you had a penalty and like John didn't, so you getting it on the final
Yeah,
corner
well,
is like
I could hear you.
complete
I
luck.
could quite clearly see my screen, so yes, I knew I had the penalty.
Wow, don't you... you get alright, okay.
had fun.
Say that.
Thankfully,
Oh,
John.
So my overtake on someone was not a good move. I was avoiding him because he broke it. Bunch. Damn.
No, well, I mean, you had the wherewithal to break because you broke and Dennis VKK, I believe it was, didn't and paid the price in going wide. I enjoyed it, to be honest. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Some
The
brilliant
fact,
racing.
the fact that you broke
Yeah.
going into the corner.
What I
It
will
was still a
say
smart
is,
thing.
I'm
taking it
going
for granted, it wasn't
to finish the stream there, and we will continue this conversation afterwards. But what I would say, if you enjoyed
Okay.
Legacy Classics Part 4,
Subscribe
there
to our
will be
YouTube
a Legacy
channel.
Classics Part 5. So be sure to join in when that
Alright.
comes around. But thank
Right,
you.
I got
some
we
awesome
got a lot of
driving.
plugs. Let's get some plugs underway. Right, okay, so that was Legacy Classic.
Have you guys heard
The-
this little Twitch?
For goodness sake!
Shut up, Brock! Right, okay. That was a Legacy Classic, and that was great. Wonderful racing from everybody in this party and everybody beyond. Thank you for everybody coming along and competing.
Ignore what he said.
I'm ignoring what all of you are saying. Next week, same time,
Such a
same
good
place. Twitch. No one like whatever. Right. Next week, same time, same place. Sunday, 4 p.m. UK time is round 6 of LCR Season 4, the Canadian Grand Prix. It's a circuit where a certain somebody got a podium in all 3 seasons. Not going to say who, but it was LCR Apex. Join in next week for the World Division race
Wait, what?
from that.
Banned.
Ban him! Ban him!
Also join us this coming
Subscribe to
Saturday
us on
as
Twitch,
TOR Leopard. Hopefully, it's going to be difficult
What
because
a
the rules is weird. But round 1 for LCR Road to Le Mans is this Saturday around Suzuka, 90-minute race. Join TOR Leopard and maybe another commentator. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but join at the very least TOR Leopard. The stream live on Twitch.tv, same place, 3 PM UK time on a Saturday. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This the replay of the Chinese race from today will be going live tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And this coming Wednesday will be the Spanish Grand Prix Wednesday, and this coming Friday will be the replay of the qualifying for Road to Le Mans. So there's all sorts of stuff to look forward to in LCR, whether it be on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We got stuff going on because I have no life. But thank you guys for watching.
Apex.
Thank you guys for competing.
Just one final plug. Don't
Yo.
forget TOR Friday nights, 9 PM. Be there
Yeah,
or
I'll
be square.
Smith.
There's certain LCR
Good
Apex
job.
races in that league, so be there right now. So,
Oh my days.
right,
Good job, lads.
well
Great
done.
one. Close it
That's
there.
enough plugs. That's
It's
it.
time
Thank you, lads.
to go and get a Nando's. Thank you, and good.